Nice out today. I'm be sitting here in my half a onesie. Listen, excuse my appearance. I was sitting here minding my business. I came outside to Brown and work a little bit and just be. And Spirit's like, cut the camera on. And I'm like, wait, what? Cut the camera on. Like, well, can I go change? Can I go do something different? And oh, Spirit's like, that's not what I told you to do. I told you to cut the camera on now as you are. And so that's what I'm expecting. And so here we are. Okay. I've not been on in a while. I've been to many places since the last time I've been on. But I'm back. I'm here. Getting back into my flow. And so I guess this is my invitation to you to probably like my third time this week. No. I can't believe I'm sitting here in a half a onesie. Jesus. This is so funny. Hey, my love. Look, I'm trying to, y'all just called me. I'm trying to get dressed. I'm trying to put my clothes back on. Spirit told me to cut this camera on. I'm like, I'm in half of a onesie. I mean, can I go change? Spirit said no. So here we are. Okay, so excuse this. Yes. Hey, Robert, how are you doing? Love. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Tyler. And who is this? Mingy. Hey, Mingy. Hey, love. Hey, hey, hey. I'm right now, I'm sitting here grounded, minding my business. How are you doing though? How have you all been? Robert, I've not seen you in a minute. A lot has happened since the last time I've seen you here. And so it's good to see you. How you doing? Hey Bentley, hey baby, hey Grand Rising, how you doing? Come in, come in, come in. If you can, join me, please. Get outside and get your feet on the ground, okay? That's what we're doing right now. We're grounding. If you don't know what grounding is, I have no problem explaining it to you. For me, grounding is a beautiful way for me to reconnect myself. It is a way for me to release negative energy. It is a way for me to connect to spirit when I need guidance, insight. It's a way to regulate your nervous system. It's a way to get into alignment and to flow with your higher self. It's a way to connect to nature. It's a way to connect to spirit. Oh God, I could go on and on. Me and my mom and my baby sister brothers went outside. Yeah, so I know like for kids especially, get them on the ground. When I have my grandkids over, I strip them shoes off. Do you hear me? And put them on the grass here. So it is another way to, something I preach and I teach to you is, you have to step away from doing. You absolutely have to allow yourself to be, to just be. And so ground is another way to do that. And when you ground, so you want to imagine, and there's multiple ways to do it, right? Sometimes you sit on the ground. You can lay on the ground, spread your little blanket and lay on the ground. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I will get on the grass in a minute. Okay, whatever my spirit leads me to do, I don't question it. I just go with it. Also for healing, right? Let's talk about healing. Grounding is again, it's a way to connect back with source. Connect back to oneness. Remember, we everything is one, everything is connected, right? So think of grounding as a way of you plugging yourself in. Okay. And like I said, you can sit, you can lay, put your feet, whatever feels good to you. But imagine those chords, however you're doing it. If it's your feet, like I'm doing now, or if you're sitting, like I said, what is it? That movie Avatar, when they take their hair and they plug into that tree. Yeah, this is what you're doing when you're grounding, right? So you want to try to be still, be quiet, and just take in everything that spirit is going to be giving you in this space. I'm going to tell you now. And you want to imagine those cords coming out of you and intertwining with the earth, with the roots. Remember, root system, right? We have a root system, right? But don't get that's a whole nother conversation. I'll go somewhere else with that. But this is you getting rooted, okay? Plugging yourself back. But let me know about you all. How have you all been? It's been a minute since I've been on. If you're new, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me say that first. In this space, this is where you come, right? This is a no judgment zone. This is a space for you to feel free to ask questions, to explore, rediscover yourself, and get into alignment with your higher self. So if at any time you have any questions or anything, please feel free to let me know or to ask, right? I don't want you to be shy here. We have to start somewhere. And so the reason for me coming out grounding, like I said, I've been out this is probably like my third time this week. Um Last week I had to bury my mother. My mom passed away. And Robert, you know this. My mom was she had stage 4 cancer and a lot of other things. And listen here, let me tell you what, I've never seen somebody fight as hard as she did in my life. And so I can sit here today and be at peace and be happy for her, that she has transitioned. You never want to see somebody that you love or that you care about going through those types of battles, right? And so last week I buried my mother. Her funeral was last Friday, okay? Now, she passed on April the 20th at 2:22 p.m. And from that day forward, my life was not mine here because I had to prepare her services and get her services and stuff together, which was not a problem at all. But she didn't have the things in place as they should have been. And so it put me in a position, well, I'm not going to say me, but us, me and my brother, in a position of having to raise money, and do all the things so that she could have a service. And so from 420 up until so her funeral was last Friday. So from 420 up until May the 8th, I had been immersed in a whole new world. And it's not a whole new world, but it was my old world. And so a lot of times when you've done the work, right, and you've done things that you need to do to go into the higher vibration of yourself. When you have to go back to certain places, or when you have to go back and experience certain things, right? It puts you in an uncomfortable position, even though it's who you used to be. You're no longer this person. And so you have to adjust to being back in that space. And so for the last month, I was back in where I'm from, the town that I'm from, things like that, and getting all the services ready for my mother and stuff. And I'm gonna tell you what, it was like this. The moment she passed, every single day there was something that had to be done, a decision that had to be made, money that had to be raised. It was just a non-stop process. And I've never planned a funeral before. Granted, I've had a hand in planning a funeral, but it's never been my sole responsibility. And so that was an experience in itself. Um but I actually enjoyed doing it. It gave me, again, a moment to make sure that in her final moments, you know what I mean? In her final space, that everything was going to be what I thought that she would have thought was the best. And so it came out good. I was so proud of it. At first we are gonna have her cremated, but then we ended up having a service for her, and it was so good. It was so good. And so I got home last week. And so right before this happened though, I was here at home, because this is how life works. I absolutely have to say this part. When you are moving, right? When you are on your journey of purpose, when you are dedicated to becoming who spirit created you to be, every day of your life is moved in a strategic way, right? And a lot of the times you will get on this momentum, this high, to this beautiful place where you can actually see, right, the beautiful things that are about to happen and about to transpire. And then something will come along to just knock you off your trajectory. And so, in these moments of these big events that come to knock you down, instead of allowing them to take you back, you have to allow them to be a catalyst for growth, to propel forward. Because if you go back, that means you have to go back now to a previous level, space, place that you've already been, instead of staying in your momentum, right, where you are, with the understanding of what everything that happens in your life is happening for you and not to you. And so, again, when these things come along to knock you down, it is your responsibility, it is your discernment that is absolutely going to be vital in these moments, to be able to keep you afloat so you can keep your momentum. Okay. Again, because these places, these things are going to be big. They're going to be heavy. Again, they are designed, specifically designed and detailed for you, because there's only two ways you can go: forward or back. And so, with all that being said, like I said, I actually had a beautiful time planning her service. It came out amazing. But then I had to also spend that time, right? That moment of being in that dense energy that I just had to endure for almost 30 days, which is a lot for me. In the spiritual realm, 30 days is like 30 years, okay? And so I knew I didn't want to uh, bring that energy home, right? So I did my little releasing and all these things before I even came. But then before I can get back into my flow and to jump back into my momentum, right? You have to take the time to get yourself back into alignment, to make sure that your space is clear before you carry on, because you don't want to contaminate your beautiful space that has taken you all this time to create and to build. So keep these things in mind. This is your life. And it is again set up to either push you forward or push you back. So you have to be able to identify the distractions, right? The patterns, the triggers, and all these things in your life that dwell in your space so you can go into the higher version of yourself. Okay. But anyway, look, with all that being said, so now I've been back home, like I said, for about a week now. It's been exactly a week and 2 days since all that. And so now I'm jumping back into the space where I left off at. So I have a lot of projects and a lot of things that I'm so excited about doing and getting up right now. Now, for the next 8 weeks on Tuesdays, on the next week, on the next 8 weeks on Tuesdays at 6 p.m., I am going to start teaching the stay method. Okay. Remember, this is a method that I created myself to help you gain emotional stability. Until you gain emotional stability, your life is not going to stabilize. Okay. Emotional stability is a part of your transformation process. You absolutely must go through here to get to there. So the next 8 weeks on Tuesdays at, no, I'm sorry, on Wednesdays at 6 p.m., we will be on live and we will begin this stay method and then go from there. But I just wanted to jump on and say, hey, I'm back. I cannot wait to get back into our space. Excuse my absence, but it was absolutely needed and required for us to go into this next space. I've learned so much. And also, again, that whole situation just I don't even want to get into it right now because then I'm not going to get off of here. But that whole situation, when you go back to a place that you've already been and you've grown, it just hits different, right? Because you no longer sit in that same space. And so, man, yeah, I got a lot from that trip. And I had been back home. Well, I was just down there, well, I guess like a month ago because my mom was in the hospital. Maybe two, yeah, like a month and a half ago. My mom was in the hospital. But I have been that in, in a minute. It's a lot of air today. Look at, I'm an air sign again. It's a good day to be outside. It's a good day to ground. I love you guys. I'm gonna see you guys really, really soon. Enjoy the rest of your day.